Episode of Boxing News today. Let me just change the screen real shortly here. Let's see if I got the right one going on here. Nope. Maybe it's this one. Nope. It's kind of embarrassing. Sorry about the slides and losses. What? Well, Holly Donovan's not with us. It's not Lou either, so. Hi, caramba. This is really embarrassing. Maybe I should end the show. Wow. Sorry about that. Really do apologize for that introduction. That was quite shy to me. But the point of the matter is we're going to start off with our usual feature where we recap some of the results of the weekend. But as we move toward the week, throughout the week, we're going to be talking about women's boxing specifically as Chantelle Cameron and Katie Taylor go toe-to-toe in a few days' time. And so leading up to that great event, we're going to talk about women in the sport of boxing. And I hope you'll be inspired to begin following some of the action that's taking place in the ring when women go toe-to-toe. Let's start off, though, quickly. Adam Azim basically dethroned Frank Pettigene, and he put him down twice in their contest and seized the European Super Lightweight Championship that took place in Wolverhampton. For Azim, it was only his 10th professional fight, but he dominated, and therefore the corner threw in the towel and ended the fight, and therefore Adam Azim won. That's what I'm going to say about that. The other victory in the men's boxing that I wanted to discuss was Derek Miller. He remains undefeated. He's a cruiserweight fighter. He's 15-0. He was fighting over in Monroe, Michigan, and he defeated Alex Turan. So let's move along. I'm having a tough time here. I need more coffee. Sorry. Let's have some results here, as I promised in the recap down below in the description. Sarah Schurig won by TKO over her opponent over in Germany, and this took place at the in Dusseldorf, Germany. So she's now undefeated, 3-0, 2 knockouts, and the fight qualifies for one of the picks by WBAN. That's womenboxing.com, by the way, as a crazy matchmaking bout because Sharuk fought Nana Chakvashvili out of Georgia, who's now 7-24-0. Elsewhere in women's boxing, we saw Erin Walsh, the Irish-born New Zealander, Erin Walsh, arrived in professional boxing with a second-round stoppage win over Thailand boxer Nanachat Wanparang out of ABA Stadium. Took place in Auckland, New Zealand, over the weekend, put on by our friends at Peach Boxing. A spectacular show and a really good card. Other places to have a look. Let's have a look here at what happened in California on the same night that super bantamweight Erica Cruz, now 17-2, 3 knockouts, outworked and dethroned WBA champion Marilyn Rivas over 10 rounds, winning by majority decision. We also saw unbeaten WBO number 3, IBF number 5, WBC number 6, and WBA number 8 super middleweight Diego Pacheco, 20-0. Remain undefeated as he scored a spectacular 9th-round knockout against Marcelo Coceres. He's now 32-6-1. That took place in Inglewood, California. Good night of boxing indeed out there. Moving down a quick look here. Let's have a look and see if nope. No other fighting results to mention. You can just Google those. I want to talk about women's boxing. Let's talk about Katie Taylor. The undisputed lightweight champ, Katie Taylor, isn't so sure that female boxers should be participating in 3-minute rounds. And this is courtesy of a story in boxingscene.com. As you all know, She's certainly prepared to take on Chantelle Cameron and said an awful lot about that upcoming fight to take place in 3 Arena over Dublin, Ireland. But that's going to be fought at 140 pounds. Cameron, the undisputed champion at junior welterweight division, won a majority decision over Taylor in their first fight that took place back in May. It took place also at the 3 Arena in Dublin. But in a recent interview, Taylor had this to say about the 3-minute rounds. She basically said, in the wake of Amanda Serrano's, historic 12-round, 3-minute round fight and victory, despite the fact it did not have the endorsement of Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC. Anyway, she's part of history, having contested and won that victory over Danilo Ramos. Taylor had this to say: I haven't really got any preference either way, said Taylor. The 2-minute rounds are really fast-paced. They say 3-minute rounds will cause more knockouts, but I don't think that's true, she says. I don't know if women's boxing has the strength and depth to have 3-minute rounds, really. She's obviously talking at the moment, currently. For me, I really don't care whether it's 2 or 3-minute rounds. I spar 3-minute rounds all the time. There's pros and cons to both, really. That's what she said to the Associated Press, and that was quoted in a story on boxingscene.com. Over in Sky Sports, on their website, we see that Caroline Dubois is pushing for Katie Taylor's 135-pound titles. Caroline Dubois, fighting out of the UK, wants to fight for a mandatory shot at Katie Taylor's lightweight world titles. Ultimately, Dubois' ambitions extend to moving up through weight classes and seeking greatness, as do a lot of the men who are fighting currently. She made mention of a few of the fighters in the men's divisions that have moved up through the various weight classes. So she's saying, an interim belt isn't a world title. It isn't the goal, but it's a step in the right direction to get me that goal. I want to get there sooner rather than later. So we're waiting on Taylor. It really depends on the rematch with Cameron, she explained. So maybe fight for an interim. I can push myself as a mandatory. It really does depend on how the rematch goes with Cameron. Say she loses and say she wins. What does she decide to do? Does she go back down to defend at 135? Regarding that question, either belts will get vacated or there'll be opportunities for me, says Dubois. Dubois would not hesitate to take the fight with Kit Taylor, but could not predict what the Irish star will do next year. These fights really take a toll on your body, on your mind, and I don't know how much longer she's intending on staying. We're not going to see her in 5 years' time for sure, but you'll see me in 5 years' time, said Dubois. I want to fight the big names. I want to be in the mix. I want to fly through the weights as quickly as possible, she added. I want the Chantelle Camerons, I want the Sandy Ryans, and I want every name you can think of from 135 to 147 pounds. I want all the belts. I can get even heavier. I don't know how long I'm going to stay around and how big my body can grow. It really does depend. You see girls jump up, and I'll be able to jump up as well. That's what Dubois boxing idols have done, and the rising star wants to follow that example. And here's where she gives the examples in the men's divisions. I'm a massive fan, she said, of people like Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, Naya Inoue, and recently Terence Crawford. All those people are great. And what made them great is they didn't just do it in one weight division. They moved up and did it at another weight level. So they dominated their weight, moved up and up and up, and continued to dominate. I want to be able to do something like that as well. They're breaking the boundaries and pushing what is considered to be impossible. I want to be someone like that. I want to do something that hasn't been done before. I want to change the sport of female boxing and be that new face. So that's courtesy of SkySports.com, by the way. And congratulations to Caroline Dubois and her great ambitions to moving forward and pushing women's boxing to even greater heights. Congratulations. Speaking of congratulations, as you all know, fans of Talkin Fight, Mia Motu's name. Mia Motu has been interviewed several times here in Talkin Fight. We've mentioned how successful she's been as a mother of 5, and she's one of the greats, hailing from New Zealand. I put a story down in the show description written by Benjamin Watt on the history of New Zealand's lineal, air quotes, champion. It's a great history of women's boxing in New Zealand. But there's a great fight coming up on December 2nd, featuring both Motu, Lani Daniels, and a new fighter who wants to make her mark, former rugby player Trish Vaka, also out of New Zealand. Of the particular fight, says courtesy of womenboxing.com. 2 thumbs up for Sue Fox. December 2nd will be one of the most exciting dates, with one of the biggest Northland boxing events in history, with IBF World Heavyweight Champion Lani Daniels fighting for the IBF World Light Heavyweight title, and Motu defending her IBO World Super Bantamweight title. This event will be the first fight for both Lani and Mia to compete in their hometown. However, there's another female boxer who will be returning for this homecoming fight, as I mentioned, and her name is Trish Vaka. She's lived in New Zealand, I think, all her life, basically. And now that rugby season is over, she says she's looking at the possibility of making her return as a professional in the ring, debuting on, as I said, December 2nd down in New Zealand. That's going to be a great fight to watch. Congratulations to the folks down in New Zealand for putting that on as well. So y'all might be wondering, as we wind our way towards Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor, is going to be a great night of fighting. I believe on that undercard you'll see some other great fights as well. I know our friends, Carl, good for you, for Last Bell Boxing. He's going to be at the fight. Hopefully he's got the front row seat, and he's looking forward to that fight for sure. But let's round out today's story by giving you the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters as collated, reported by SportingNews.com. Number 1, Clarissa Shields, a record of 14-0, 2-time undisputed middleweight champion, former undisputed super middleweight champion, former IBF, WBA, and the ring super welterweight champion. The self-proclaimed greatest woman of all time has earned that nickname, and she certainly backed up all of her trash talk. Shields is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She turned pro in 2016, and at only 13-0, Shields is a 3-time undisputed champ, having held all the titles at super middleweight and middleweight division twice. Number 2, Chantelle Cameron, 18-0. She's the reigning undisputed super lightweight champion. And despite being an undisputed champion and pound-for-pound player, Cameron's decision victory over Taylor was one of the biggest of her career by far. As you recall, I said earlier, that was back in May of this year. She's now kicked open the door to stardom and took a 2-spot jump on this pound-for-pound list. So who comes in at number 3? Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor's record, 22-1, 6 knockouts, undisputed lightweight champion, as I said earlier, former WBO super lightweight champion. Despite suffering her first loss, Taylor is still the undisputed lightweight champ, one of the biggest stars in boxing and pound-for-pound entrant. The 2012 Olympic gold medalist made her debut in 2016 in the professional ranks and has taken down a murderer's row of competitors. Taylor has beaten the likes of Jessica McCaskill, Victoria Bustos, Ava Wallstrom, Rose Volante, Delphine Persoon, Natasha Jonas, and Amanda Serrano. So let's have a quick look at number 4, Amanda Serrano. Record 46-2-1, 30 knockouts. Look at this list. Reigning undisputed featherweight champ, former IBF super featherweight champ, former WBO lightweight champ, former WBO junior featherweight champ, former WBO bantamweight champ, former WBO light welterweight champ, WBO junior bantamweight champ. Serrano is a 7-division champion, a Guinness World Record, by the way, for women in boxing, making her pro debut in 2009. The real deal has moved up and down weight classes with great success. She's won world title behind Manny Pacquiao for equaling the record of title wins in different weight divisions. And although she has a 28-fight win streak snapped by Taylor in an instant classic, Serrano proved that all of her hard work over the years has paid off. Coming in at number 5, Alicia Baumgartner. She's got a 15-1 record, 7 knockouts, and she's the reigning undisputed super featherweight champion. The Bomb, as she's known by, hits to hurt, as Terry Harper saw in 2021 when she was knocked out on her feet by Baumgartner, winning the WBC title in the process. Baumgartner immediately had one goal in mind: undisputed. She dominated against Edith Marseille in April 2022, and then competed in a gritty war against her rival Michaela Mayer in October, in a fight where both women put on a clinic. Baumgartner came out on top to win Mayer's WBO, IBF, and Ring Magazine super featherweight titles. And shortly after, the WBA champ Hyun Mi Choi declined a bout with Baumgartner. The Korean fighter was named champion in recess, and that left the door open for the Detroit-based fighter to face Elhern McKellar for the vacant crown and a chance to become undisputed. And she did just that, claim a wide unanimous decision win. And in July, Baumgartner scored a points win over Christina Leonardo, and after that win, it was revealed that an adverse analytical finding turned up in a pre-fight test. The subsequent investigation into that is ongoing. So there you go, the top 5 pound-for-pound female fighters in boxing as we head towards the Taylor Cameron fight this week. I hope you'll enjoy these upcoming shows. Sorry about the intro, but hopefully we got off to a much better start as things began to unravel, as the stories continued to unfurl. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you later on at 4 p.m. when I join Mike Ora on his show, Knuckle Up, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, for another episode of Boxing News Today.